So this is the service for replacing the 3G modem in the BVS or CVS. Just a quick note, a couple of things you'll need: Loctite, Allen keys and RTV silicon. First up, we need to remove the side bolts from the unit. Shouldn't be too tight, so we're taking these out. Put them in a safe place. Turn the end around to the other side. You can notice in here that they have rubber gaskets that have a higher profile than the shroud that around them. That's to seal the unit, and this shroud takes up the pressure so that can act on that spring washer. Once that's done, we now unclip back of the unit. So we need to remove this now. It comes out. It could be a bit sticky, this one, so I need to get a second pair of hands or put it between my feet. No, that's not too bad. Be careful not to touch the lenses. Underneath here you've got a laser, you've got a hard drive. This is the motherboard. Here is our 3G modem, just here. Right, we need to remove these connectors from the back of this left camera. So you pull this back and then grab onto the cable and pull that off. This one, you just press that little knob down and pull that out. It's a standard Cat 5 or Cat 6. Now, to remove this board, we've got 4 bolts to remove. They've got Allen key heads. You've also got to take this out here. This is the bolt for this P-clip here. You just need to move that out of the way so we can get access to this bolt over here and remove the board. Now here we have a USB connector at the back. Normally that has RTV on it. We take that off afterwards, and underneath there's also another connector that goes to the 3G antenna, which is this right here. So that connector there. So when you take these bolts out, lift it up carefully. You'll need to take that antenna off the back of the board prior to removing it. And just give us a bit more flexibility around moving that to get that board out. Right. I'll just explain to you the situation here. There is our SIM inside that board. We simply push that back to lift up. You can see how it goes in with the bevel on the top there. Just remove that board, that SIM, and that goes into the 3G board that's been replacing this one. So, undo this. These have little nylon washers, so please be careful not to lose those. Here we have our antenna connector, which goes on the back of that. Just take the USB out. Here's our connector here. It's got RTV on it. We need to remove the RTV. If it's staticky, you should wear a static wrist clip and connect onto the unit. I think that's got enough off. I'll just take that tenor off there. So what I'm going to do is essentially pretend this is the new board. I don't have a spare board with me, but you will. And this just basically goes through the reverse process and put this back in. But there's a few things we need to note first. First up, we need to have our Loctite ready for our bolts to go back in. This is our Loctite 243. We need to have our RTV ready. So we'll put our connector back on. It should snap into place. That's the first thing. Next thing is to put our RTV on, just a little dab. I'll put RTV onto that terminal just there, and now we're going to put it back in place. It might take a little bit of time to set. We put our board in place. We can actually put our connector on here as well and do the same with the RTV. So effectively what we're doing here is reversing the process, but adding Loctite and RTV. Just need a little dab, get that in place. Now we need our Loctite. Something like that there, and the rest is pretty straightforward. Now before we put those back on, we need to put the SIM card in. So pull back, lift up, put our SIM in. Notice the way it goes in there with the bevel at this corner. Push down, push along. Now we replace our connectors, put our in the back of the camera and put our LAN port in first. This is only going to go one way. That's on. And now we're right to put it back in the box. Line it up with the railings. and six clips to do up. And see, I'm going to put these back in. Won't do them up tightly yet. Both are in, right, so now just tighten them up, just enough to that spring washer to activate. Right. So on this side. And there we have it. We've replaced the 3G modem. Just give the system a bit of a look over, look at these seals, they're okay. Haven't been over compressed. And slightly there. Too bad. Right, we've now turned the system on and we are about to make sure that everything's configured. We have a AirWatch card, which is the little card down here that will have a couple of profiles. You want to get rid of the delete the blank profile, delete that, and we set up our profile to telstra.internet and auto connect. And say apply and OK. I don't have an antenna, hence I have no signal.